Rockeyez would like to welcome Coby D. Hey, man, what's up? What's going on? Welcome to Rockeyez.
Hey, what's up, Brian? Thanks for having me, man.
No problem, no problem. Let's go back earlier in your career and stuff like that, halfway to Insanity. Just a band I found. I don't know if you did that in school or whatever. Tell me a little bit about that.
I had actually H2I, which is just what we shortened it down to, and then later it became H2S, which basically stood for Halfway to Sanity. But it was basically a band I joined. They were together for a little while before I got with them. Really heavy metal band. It consisted of Wesley Hammonds, who was a great bass player. I mean, just insane bass player. Jesse Wells, who was my cousin, and he also played on some other projects with me. Jared Walters on drums, and Seth Hill is the secondary vocalist, and then, of course, me on vocals. Just really, really heavy. Probably the heaviest project I've ever been in. But it was just, we were all friends, and I'd had a bike wreck right before I got in the band and just kind of needed something to take my mind off of everything, and that really helped, and we really developed a beginning fan base for what would later become my music career that I really took off after that.
Cool,
so,
cool. Did you always want to play music, or was there anything else, like, like in school, maybe you wanted to be something else, but, you fell into the music career?
Well, no, it was really, my dad was a country gospel singer. He just sang in church and whatnot when I was young. And he had me listening to, like Elvis Presley and things like that when I was a baby. And by the time I was 4, I was singing in our church. And by the time I was 5, I was getting paid to sing in other churches. And by the age 10 or 11, I'd already recorded my first album, which consisted of like 11 or 12 songs. So it was, it's always been something that was there. I was sang on TV. I actually DJ'd at a radio station on a Sunday morning program when I was 10. And just kind of, like I said, did TV shows and recorded little demos and whatnot throughout my teenage years. But, played talent shows at school and, other places. Played at our junior and senior prom, just stuff like that, and then went on to just kind of jam around with, little jam bands and stuff around my hometown.
Great, great, great. There's 2 other bands I dug up, a band called Withdrawal and another band called Fracture. I really don't know much about it, but maybe you could put them in perspective for me?
Absolutely. While I was with H2I or H2S, however you want to put it, a friend of mine called me and he said we were having some creative differences in the band, so I was kind of getting ready to walk away anyway, and a buddy of mine called me and said, "Hey, let's move to Vegas." And I was just like, "No, I'm not moving to Vegas." So he kept at me, and he's like, "I want to go start a band," and just pretty much told me, you won't have to pay for anything. Let's just go to Vegas. We'll start this band, and we'll live in this condo, and we'll just, take it from there. And we lived in Vegas for about 4 months and wound up playing on the Vegas Strip once or twice. We recorded at Tone Factory Studios out there. We recorded a little 4-song demo, which 1 or 2 of those songs wound up on the full-length album later, or actually 3 of them did, I think. And then we decided to come on home, and we took off and just started touring pretty much the east side of the country, the Mid-East and the eastern, the East Coast and everything. And we wound up recording our full-length album in Nashville, Tennessee, with an engineer / producer named Jamie Loritz, who is huge around Tennessee. He recorded Bret Michaels' solo album. He's recorded Pat Benatar, a lot of really big names. We had the Bullet Boys actually come in, who Rich Green was playing drums for at that time, who is also the drummer for our new project. And that's how I met him. And they all ended up playing on our album, playing different parts. Just had a great time recording it. Ultimately, me and the other guy, once again, we had some creative differences. He was wanting to go one way, I was wanting to go the other, and we just kind of parted ways. But it was a really fun project, and we got a lot of really positive feedback back home in Arkansas, and the people really seemed to dig it down there.
Cool. I also saw you doing a cover of "She Talks to Angels" by the Black Crowes in 2011 on YouTube. I mean, it was really comfortable. I mean, I think you're sitting there playing acoustic guitar, singing away. You know, was there other projects like in the mix or anything like that? And why'd you pick "She Talks to Angels" as a YouTube song?
Well, before I say it, I just want to say after Withdrawal, I moved up to Little Rock, Arkansas, and got with that band Fracture, who was just a powerhouse of musicians. I mean, it was just an amazing group of people, and we all meshed well. But I was having some troubles at the time and had to move away, and wound up moving out to Columbus, Ohio, for a little while with another friend of mine. And a guy named Rob Willis wanted to take me out and record this video because he had heard me play it. And went in there. I mean, I've just had a really good time doing it. It's always been they've always been a really big influence for me, the Black Crowes have. And especially vocally. I love his vocals. And so when he said he wanted me to go record the song, I was 100% for it. So, but that was pretty much all I really did there. Besides, I DJ'd, and I DJ'd at a gentleman's club out there, and I also on Sunday night they would have rock shows at the same gentleman's club, and I would book those for them every Sunday night. But other than that, there were really no musical projects I had going on at the time. It just kind of fell in my lap that way. So that's where that came from.
Great. Now, Saints of Rebellion. You know, all I saw was like the photo and one track. You know, and New American Dream is going to be the new CD coming out in March. I mean, I saw the press photo. I was really impressed. And then I heard the song, you know, which really impressed me. I mean, image is a big thing, and I think that one press photo that I saw really, you know, was something that stood out. But when you heard the song, it was even better. Can you tell me about the new project coming up, Saints of the Rebellion?
Saints of Rebellion is probably my favorite project I've ever been on. I mean, it's just crazy, massive sound coming out of these guys. I mean, like I said, Rich Green is the drummer. He's played for the Bullet Boys. He's played for Faster Pussycat, which, unless you've been hiding under a rock, you know, those are just great rock bands, you know. And he's just can sit down with anybody and play anything. It's amazing what this guy can do on the drums. And Jay Hightaffer is on the bass, who, if you wonder who that was, he's the guy with the giant mohawk.
Yeah, I saw that.
He's just a great person. I mean, just on a personal level, and just magnificent instrumentalist. I mean, just goes crazy on stage. His stage presence is more energetic than anybody I've ever had the pleasure of being on stage with. He makes me feel like I'm not even moving on stage.
Wow.
And then of course John Adams. He's the guy with the long blonde hair. I call him Mini Thor. He's got long blonde hair. He's real bowed up, but his guitar chops are just on point. His guitar sound is just huge, like really thick guitar sound. These guys, they were looking for a specific type of sound when they put these guys together. They kind of scouted them out, and they wanted somebody who could offer like kind of a southern rock kind of feel to it, which that's my forte. That's right up my alley. So come in, and we've been described as quote unquote swampy,
right? Very
swampy sounding. So the song is called New American Dream, which is the album title as well. And we've just had so much fun. Believe it or not, I've only been with these guys since the beginning of January.
Wow. Yeah, that's only like 2 months.
Yeah, it's literally only been a couple of months. I mean, these guys, they brought me in, and after 2 weeks, we were in the studio recording
Wow.
It was just crazy. I mean, it's gone so fast, but it feels like we've been together forever.
Cool. Can you tell me anything about the rest of the album?
The rest of the album, it's just a mix, man. It all has the same sound, but it sounds completely different. I mean, if that makes any sense. It's the actual title track, New American Dream, is available on Reverb Nation under, obviously, Saints of Rebellion. You can just go in and put that in the search bar. It'll bring us up. And, excuse me, it's kind of a song. It just describes how we're just not happy with the system. It's
right.
just, it's just everybody knows, like, the system's really screwing a lot of people over, and it's just kind of a play on our political side.
Right.
And we've had a lot of fun playing it, but we've also got some songs that have a lot more bluesy southern rock based groove to it, but they're all just slamming metal songs, and we can't wait to get this album out, and it will be dropping on iTunes in about a month. The whole album will. So and by the way, the Reverb Nation, the New American Dream on Reverb Nation will only be streaming for free for a very limited time, and then we're going to cut that off. But like I said, everything will be available on iTunes in about a month, I think they said.
Great. So basically there's no venue like, religion or anything that you will not write about. You'll write about everything.
We're really not scared to tackle anything, man.
That's good.
We're pretty much straightforward about everything. Especially John. John is really outspoken about his, what he thinks about who, he's not scared to say anything, man. But it's just we're all the same way pretty much. We mean what we say, and we say what we mean, and it really, you can tell how comfortable we are in our own skin when you see us live.
Right. Tell me about how a live show would be coming to see Saints of Rebellion.
All right, well, to be perfectly honest with you, believe it or not, we have not even played our first live show yet together. Wow. as a group. We're literally one of our first show, or I think our first show is going to be at Rockfest in South by Southwest in Austin, Texas next month. And it's just, we're completely stoked about all that. It's that's actually on the 11th through the 15th. I want to say it's the 14th, but I'm not sure about that. But like I said, you can go to our Reverb Nation page, and we have our full calendar on there, so it'll tell you on there.
Wow. Now, I tracked you guys down through a friend of mine, Mr. Chavis. Can you tell me anything, your relationship with him?
Oh, Bill. Oh, Bill, man. Hey, man, I love Bill. Bill is just a really cool guy. I mean, he's all business, Right. If you're not, you gotta take care of the business first, but he loves to have fun, man. He's a great guy. His wife, Lori, is part of the business end too, and we call her boss lady. He's not the boss. We call her boss lady.
Wow, that's cool.
I mean, she's just a really good woman. He's a really good guy. We always have a lot of fun. He actually came to Conway, Arkansas with us while we were recording the album, and stayed there while we were recording the album. So we got to, and that was actually the first time I'd met Bill. It's when we all met up at the studio. Great.
Now, what about merchandising?
Merchandising. All right. We also have a full site, which is saintsofrebellion.com. And we have merchandise on there. We have a lot of apparel, which comes from Biohazard. And I think Biohazard's out of Arizona, but Biohazard Apparel is supplying us with our logos and everything, and our shirts and stuff. We have hoodies, we have T-shirts, we have tanks for the girls. Pretty soon, I think we're going to have baby tees and even like vests, stuff like that, patches, all kinds of stuff. Man, we're constantly expanding and growing as a band and as a business.
Right. Cool. Definitely, merchandise is a big thing these days, and really helps a band. At a particular goal and stuff like that. It's the only way to tour this year, and every year. But I mean, it looks like you guys are, on your way, and even the image. Does that mean anything to you for like a particular image?
Well, absolutely. I mean, we're all. I mean, once again, like I said, the label was looking for a very specific sound, but they were looking for a very specific look also, and they really did a great job. Bill. Speaking of Bill did a really good job of putting this together, and Jay is actually a clothes designer as well. Our bass player Jay Hightaffer and his wife actually do clothes designing, and they have a band called a label called Sexy Wear, SECKSY Wear, and they're just kind of sticking to making the band stuff right now, but man, it is just awesome. And if you look in those pictures, that's a lot of us are wearing Sexy Wear clothes.
Great.
So I mean, it's the look is very important. We all, I mean, when you look at Jay, I mean, like I said, he's the Mohawk guy. He's just, everybody's got their own unique look, but all our looks fit together. You know what I mean?
Right, yes.
It really goes together.
Definitely. Now, is there a particular goal for the band for 2014, since you're a new band just starting out? And, is there anything you really hope to gain or achieve?
Well, mainly we want to keep the fans we've all brought in as individuals. Like, we all came in with just a ton of fans, which we're thankful for, and all we want to do is just keep getting new fans. We want to keep making music that we love. We want to keep putting out albums and just ultimately take the world over.
Well, everybody wants that. When you have a fan that comes up to you and said, one of your songs really impacted my life and changed my outlook and I guess direction of life, what's that feeling like?
It's the best feeling in the world. I mean, I can't even sit here and describe it. It's you just can't help but, shake their hand or hug their neck. It's just when somebody comes up, especially like I know myself, especially I've had people come up and crying over the impact that a song of mine has made on them, on a couple of older albums of mine, some of the slower songs about people I've known who have passed, and
right.
It's just, when they come up like that, it almost makes you cry yourself, It's like, the something you did impacted somebody's life so much that you brought them to tears, and that just, it's the best feeling in the world,
Very cool. Saints of Rebellion, New American Dream, March release. Thank you very much, Coby, man.
Let me give you a couple of sites real quick.
Go ahead.
Can hit us up.
Yeah, sure.
We'd love to get everybody on this. saintsofrebellion.com, like I said before. Our Facebook page is facebook.com/Saints of Rebellion. Our Twitter is at SOR Nation. And then we've got 2 or 3 gigs coming up. The first one is March 8th at J.R. McGinnis in Newcastle, Delaware, actually. And then, like I said, the 11th through the 15th, we're at Rockfest at South by Southwest in Austin, Texas. The 27th of March is the Rockers Gone Wild pool party in Miami, Florida. And just a lot of stuff coming up. We're steadily booking more gigs. We're going to be playing with some really big names coming up this summer and this fall. Just keep in contact with us. Hit us up on Facebook. My name's Coby Deshazo. Hit me up online. I promise you try to add me on Facebook, I won't turn you down. We're constantly wanting more fans, more friends. We love meeting new people. We can't wait to get out there and start meeting people as a whole band again.
Very cool. Saints of Rebellion, Coby D. You'd like to say anything to the fans out there?
We'd just like to say thank you for all of you who have already responded with such positivity, and we hope we just hope that you'll stay with us. And to any potential new fans, we can't wait to meet you. We can't wait for you to hear our stuff, and we hope your feedback is just as positive as the feedback we've been getting already.
Very cool.
Thank you all.
Very cool. Very cool. Thanks very much, man. I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks a lot for having me, Brian.
No problem. Bye-bye.